I'll tell you, we have tithed for more than 50 years, and we have been blessed. Well, my first experience at tithing did not start out too good. As a teenager, I mowed yards, and the reason I mowed yards, I wanted a new bicycle. And I was a teenager, and my mom, every time I'd come in and bring money in from that, she would take a tenth out for church, told me that was a tithe. And of course, I knew what a tithe was, being raised in a church, but I wasn't too happy to give that up. And then she took money out for the gas and for the lawnmower. So out of a $10 fee, I wound up with $5, which is a long way from getting the bicycle. But she kept me close and very mindful of need and purpose to tithe. My real experience at tithing and where I grew tremendously was after Kay and I were married. And we got married when we were 20 years old, and about our mid-20s, we were going to Emmanuel Baptist Church in Lexington, which then was just a chapel. And Kay's uncle and aunt also went to that church. And like a lot of young couples, we didn't have a lot of money. We weren't tithers then. And he gave us a real testimony and showed us how to actually budget our money and how the tithe came out first. And we just told him with all of our obligations that we had. And we were in an apartment, had to have furniture. I mean, we had nothing after we got married. But anyway, he said, well, try. He said commit to 5%. And then if that goes all right, then in a few months, upped it 1 or 2%, whatever you think you can do. And we did, mainly because we knew he was going to stay after us if we didn't. But he was an active deacon and usher and active in the church. And at that time, Kay was also the church secretary to Brother Coonley. And so we had some other reasons why we felt obligated to tithe. Not that anyone was going to check on us, but the interesting thing was once we started to raise that percent, we wound up making more money, wound up being promoted in work and benefited. And really that was just a start. After we finally got to 10%, and then as my job changed and like I said, as I got promoted or moved up or actually moved and worked for different companies, you never missed it. I mean, you were blessed and you had more money coming in. Therefore, it was really more like a cheerful giver rather than one in my experience as a teenager. But I'll tell you, we have tithed for more than 50 years, and we have been blessed. I mean, we've been blessed with real, some monetary ways, but we've been blessed with family, friends, serving God, doing missions, just doing a lot of things that I think tithing has helped us to grow into that responsibility and with our growth. We've been in Harrodsburg now for about back about almost 40 years. And the reason why we feel that we need to give to our church is, I kind of go back to Jacob's time before Christ came, and he was blessed and he gave a tenth, as a lot of people did but he gave it to the Levites, he gave it to the temple, and they didn't have money then, but what they would do is every 10th animal, they would give it to the church. And every maybe bushel of wheat or whatever grain they had, they'd give it to the church. And so it's just been a natural kind of thing that you give what you can give. But I feel it's necessary for the ministry of our church. It takes care of our building, but more importantly, it's the ministry, the people we reach. We saw the 5 people that joined last Wednesday night. Well, if we didn't have a church or didn't have the opportunity, we would not be able to reach those people. I mean, it takes energy and effort on parts of all of us, but having a place and worshiping God is the reason why it's important. I'm kind of at the latter stage of my life, but I feel like as I have gotten older, not because necessarily only tithing, but my faith has become stronger from a standpoint of my commitment not only in giving the tithe, but more importantly, offering to do things to help people in our church, whether it's older people, whether it's younger people, whether it's an outreach, whatever. And if it does require any extra money, we try to give that above our tithe. But for those that are that 20 age group we were when we started, or even if you're older, and if you're not tithing, try to give 5% to start with and make a commitment, stick to it, and gradually raise it up. And I think God is going to bless you for doing that.